Welcome to the Cincy PostCast, and before we get started, I want to talk to you for a second about Streetside Brewery. Streetside is your neighborhood brewery located in the beating heart of Columbia, Tusculum. They're an FCC pub partner and a longtime supporter of the Cincy PostCast. You've heard me rave about their beer whenever Kevin lets me do the intros because, well, I just love their beer. As you're about to hear, we just spent a weekend in Utah with their crazy draft beer laws, so you know I can't wait to get down to Streetside and enjoy a proper pint of a Cincinnati brewed IPA. Streetside has a full calendar of events throughout the year that you can find on their website, streetsidebrewery.com. You can get a list of all their beers, all the information, everything happening at Streetside, from karaoke night to industry night tonight on Monday as you listen to this. Streetside Brewery. Stop by today and find your new favorite beer. And when you get there, let them know that the PostCast sent you. Just because, you know, they're paying for the ad, they may as well know they're getting their money's worth for it. Streetside, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode. We love you from the PostCast. Oh, and on the Cincy PostCast today, we have got one hell of a show for you. We were live in Salt Lake City to witness FC Cincinnati's thrilling 1-0 victory over Real Salt Lake. Brian Anunga caps off an incredible week with his first career assist. Roman Celentano plays elite shot stopper, and the second half substitutes deliver a 3-point road trip for the FC. And what's more, FC Cincinnati once again leads the Supporters' Shield race with 10 matches to play. It was a bad night to be a low ABV draft beer on Saturday, but it's a great morning to be an FC Cincinnati fan today. See you on the flip side after the music. Hit it, Schwei. Oh, and joining me to talk about all of that and more, I am joined in the same room, around the same coffee table.
Whoa.
By Kevin Wallace and Grayson.
Man.
Gentlemen, we are all together recording a show. This doesn't happen very often.
No.
Reason why it's happening is because we're on the road, baby.
What I really love about the Away Days Sunday morning episode or recording session is everybody's a little hungover. We're still getting started. And I think we all have a very nice sound to our voices because of that.
It's a quality hangover timbre.
Yes.
Yeah. It's that great combination of we were all at the game.
Yes.
We were all yelling at the game. Some of us louder than others.
You know.
As you do. And then, you know, one of two things is going to happen. You're either going to want to go out and you're going to want to like drown away your sorrows.
Yes.
Or you're going to be fired up and you're like, I don't want the night 10 because this is a good time.
We were fired up.
We were fired up. Some of us a little too fired up.
Grayson was genuinely getting embarrassed.
Yeah. No.
And I think he had reason to be clear.
Whatever. He apologized for nothing. Try to take my beer away from me at the game.
That was a very funny moment.
I don't think you need this.
Yeah, the bartender was cutting you off there.
Yeah, it really was, actually.
Loved the number of FC Cincinnati fans that were in the stadium, that we saw, that we high-fived, that we talked to. After the game, people just like finding other FC Cincinnati fans and just screaming things at them. Yeah. It was fun.
Yeah. And that's in that moment right there, as we scored our goal late, Luca Orellano in the 88th minute, I felt compelled to make sure that I could be heard by every other FC Cincinnati fan that was in the immediate vicinity of where we were perched at America First Field.
And you were. I think the moment that really truly got your beer taken away from you by Grayson was you trying to start the sha-la-la of just the four of us.
Yeah. Yeah, but it would have been electric if we could have gotten it started.
I assume in the actual away section there was a sha-la-la, but
yeah, and we could have started a second one. We could have had dueling sha-la-las, and it would have been glorious. But somebody decided they needed to be a party pooper here.
Yep.
Grayson, we'll talk about the game in a moment, but we should probably talk about the experience in the stadium. Grayson got injured on the way into the stadium.
I did get injured. There's like a, I don't know what it's like a fairgrounds almost.
Yeah, like
when you enter this, because the security is like way out there. It's like a block or two away from the stadium, and then you also get your ticket scanned a little farther away from the stadium, and then there's like booths in like carnival games and food trucks and stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of like a church festival vibe that they've got going outside the stadium.
And on theme with America First and with the flyover that they did before the game.
Yes.
With the Jets. There was a like U.S. Army like physical training booth or something.
Like a physical challenge booth.
It was as far as I could tell, it was mostly an excuse for you to give your information to the Army. I thought I was signing some type of waiver to participate, but I think I was just giving the Army my email.
Oh.
Because I did get some emails.
Already. They wasted no time.
So they had like a trap bar, and they were doing like deadlifts, and people were, they had the ability to do different weights, but I saw a guy like almost collapse.
He was laying off to the side, breathing heavily for a long time.
He was there when we left, just off to the side.
Yeah, I don't know that he made it to the game.
Looking like he was gonna pass out. But I agreed to do it, and I think that because so many people had been doing it, the like handles were kind of sweaty. So
Fun.
I was on like 11 or 12, and I popped a callus in my hand. And like it just ripped clean off. I think partially, probably also because I forgot to take my wedding ring off before I did it. So I think there was extra pinching. So I just had like this big open wound on my hand, and I went to the first date area and got it.
Yeah, that was Grayson's first experience at the stadium. Was looking for a first aid station.
Yep.
How was the first aid station? Do we have a review of the first aid station?
The people in there seem pretty chill.
All right.
That's good.
I asked them. Do they get if they get a lot of action, and they said it's mostly heat related.
Right. I could see that.
Yeah.
They asked how many I got, and I was like,
That's funny.
I was like, well, I got 13, but like I couldn't grip it anymore because
It was bleeding.
The blood got real slippery.
It wouldn't stick in my hand. But they were like, oh, that's pretty good.
All right, there you go.
I popped. It's like, okay.
And many people are asking, what was the weight on that?
It wasn't like crazy. It was like 225, I think she said.
Yeah.
All right. It's not bad.
There you go. Well done. Well done, Grayson.
Shattering the myth that podcasters don't engage in physical activity.
Oh, man. So that was cool.
That was a neat little area outside the stadium. I did enjoy that a lot.
Yeah, it would be as if like I was about to use the word activation.
Yeah, I like that.
I kind of want to shoot myself now. It's the like if the area in Washington Park where FC Cincinnati does stuff, if that was just like smushed up next to the stadium is basically what they're doing. But the nice thing about what we do in Cincinnati with Washington Park is anybody can participate. I've had friends come down and like do the pregame stuff and then leave or like go get dinner. Whereas this was like beyond the security and ticket checkpoint. So you had to be going to the game to participate.
Right. No, it was neat. We'll have more thoughts, obviously, when the Away Days video comes out.
Sometime next year.
Sooner. It will not be another full year wait. I can promise that at least.
Who will be president when that video comes out?
What a great question.
Who will be president like when we board our flight later tonight?
I don't know. We haven't had our Sunday surprise yet.
Yeah. I guess I should point out to the to the listeners, if I think we talked about it already on an episode previously, but the last time we went on an away days trip, we were in New York City on the Sunday where Joe Biden announced he was no longer running for president, that he was dropping out of the presidential race. And we all sort of experienced in real time an entire city looking at their phones and realizing something was going on. So I eagerly await finding out what's going to happen later today as we experience our next Sunday on the road.
Why not? We could have a Cincinnatian in the Oval Office.
Who knows? Kevin, you want to talk about this game?
I do want to talk about this game. Well, I want to talk about this game, but also, and maybe I'm wrong, but I thought the game itself was fairly uneventful. So there's not a whole lot of like moments to talk about with this game. Maybe I'm wrong.
So I don't think you're wrong, but I do think that it's interesting how different people experience the same event.
Yeah.
Because we were at, Kevin had went to bed.
Yeah.
And Chief and I and the cameraman had to go to the cameraman's favorite bar.
Yes, we were here 48 hours or like 72 hours, and we discovered a favorite bar.
Yeah, we're now regulars at an establishment. And so, but we had to actually wait to get in yesterday.
Wow.
Because there was like some, like, I don't know, like mariachi event a block away that people were coming in from, and then there was some kind of Joker convention next door.
What?
Yeah, no, it looked like everyone was dressed up like various versions of the Joker. No, legitimately.
It was legitimately like some people were legitimately terrifying.
Yeah. Like Jared Leto Joker.
Like people would like there would be like shirtless guys coming out of this place next door with like their faces painted in like scary clown makeup. Not like nice clown makeup.
Wow.
There's no such thing as nice clown makeup.
So agree to disagree. So we were in line to get into the place, and the a guy came out and asked if we were in town for the game, and he had been at the game too, and he said it was an amazing game.
Oh,
He said it was the most exciting game he'd ever been to.
Oh.
I was like, right on, man.
Yeah. Let it fly. No, he
doesn't get to many games.
Well, he said he lives up in Ogden.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's
Okay.
like it would be quite a haul
Yeah.
to go to a lot of games.
Yeah.
It's all a matter of perspective, I guess.
Yeah, I guess from a Salt Lake City perspective, the end of the game was a classic FC Cincinnati, frenetic for the other team, launching lots of shots, desperate defending, like, you know, holding the very narrow lead. So I guess from that perspective, it's exciting because you're expecting them to score. You're anticipating that score. Are we spoiled? We're like, we've experienced that so often. I don't really feel like afraid that we're gonna lose.
We might not appreciate what it's like when your team is chasing and it's piling on opportunity after opportunity.
That's it.
Because it does seem like when we're chasing a goal late in the game,
Nothing happens.
we're mostly defending in our box.
Yeah. Actually, it actually looks exactly the same if we're winning by a goal or losing by a goal.
It's the Pam from The Office meme. It's corporate needs you to tell the difference between these two pictures.
Yes.
FC Cincinnati up a goal, FC Cincinnati down a goal.
Oh man, I tweeted it last night. It genuinely feels that like the last 10 minutes of a game, like I know like field tilt is an advanced stat that people track, but like genuinely it feels like the playing field is tilted 45 degrees down towards the FC Cincinnati
Like
goal.
everything has fallen to that end of the field.
Yeah, there's
Nothing's
just like
happening.
it takes so much more effort to get the ball back up at the other end.
I do understand a little bit of our friend in line at Duffy's point.
I didn't want to call out the bar.
It was a great bar.
It was a great bar.
It deserves to be called out.
No matter how much you ordered, it was $9.
I genuinely think Coors Banquets were $2.
They were course banquets were $2, and then, but like, just like drinks were like $4.
Yeah.
And the people watching, again, off the charts.
Elite.
Just elite people watching. But I do understand our friend from Ogden, his point of view in this regard. In that, yes, if you go back and watch this game last night, there were a lack of signature moments, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about the ones that were there. But just in terms of play level, it was, I think, contested at a fairly high level.
I would agree.
I think the game was eminently watchable.
Yes.
There were good moments of possession, passing. The game never settled into a lull where you would have your typical FC Cincinnati passing around the back, waiting for something to happen. Both teams seemed to want to progress the ball every time they had possession. It didn't lead to a ton of individual scoring opportunities, and I think that was mostly a factor of this, number one, as we've seen before, when they are locked in, this FC Cincinnati team can play elite defense.
Yes.
They have an elite shot stopper at the back of the defense.
My God.
And, additionally, that there's a bit of a talent disparity on the field, that there's a talent gap between this RSL team and this FC Cincinnati team. But with the rotational moves FC Cincinnati had made, it brought the game a lot closer to 50-50 just because several key players weren't on the field for FC Cincinnati, where I do think that if this team has its first choice lineup available, I do think this FCC team washes RSL, even in form. But because of all the circumstances, it led to a game that was contested fairly evenly the entire time.
Yeah. The lineup was wild when it dropped. I'll run through it here real quick. Roman Celentano in goal, of course. Lucas Angle as your left wing back. Alvis Powell as your right wing back. The back line was Hadebi, Miles Robinson, Gilberto Flores, Luca Anunga, where you're holding midfielders with Evander just ahead of them. Corey Baird and Dado Valenzuela getting the start up top. Grayson, what did we make of the lineup when it dropped?
I honestly missed how many changes there were when I first looked at the lineup, just because there were some things I think I assumed would be the case.
Yeah.
And then when I saw that, like, Miazga wasn't starting in the center back, so I was like, oh, okay, well, that's our rotation. But it was like pretty substantial. You had Baird, Powell, Flores, Daby, all, I would say, as rotated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then having Engel moved back out from left center back to left wing back is a change from the last couple of matches as well. I wasn't necessarily expecting as much firepower on the bench as we saw. I was expecting some rotation. But I'm with Chief that, like, they played a good game.
Yeah.
When you consider the rotation, and as much as sometimes I'm like, oh, they're not going for this game or whatever, in the moment, it is like, realistically, this is the third game in the week. They played two top level teams.
Yeah.
Between Columbus and Miami, and you do have to find opportunities to rotate, as a concept. I mean, whether you think the right rotational choices are made all the time, I think is something you can dig into. But I do think you have to accept that there's going to be opportunities to rotate. The team needs to take opportunities to rotate, and when you can pull results from games you rotated, that's the most important takeaway. Much more so than, what were the underlying stats of the game, or how did the game look? And I don't think it looked bad by any means, but it could have looked a lot worse. And if they come away with the same result, I think it's job well done. You're on the road, you're rotated, you're coming away with 3.
Yeah. I think the important thing to note is, You talk about firepower on the bench, 4 starters on the bench.
Yeah.
Out of 10 outfield players, having 4 and 4 very key pieces.
Yeah.
That's big. And then when you combine that also with the fact that Kevin Dente is out, that's 5 starters of this team's regular 11 that were not in this match at kick. And
Right. I mean, it's probably 5 positions
that where a starter wasn't playing.
where a starter wasn't playing. Because you had 2 center backs, right wing back, and both forwards.
Yeah.
Oh, and Obina Wobodo.
Oh, Obi too. 6.
Oh, forget about Obi.
He's been gone for so long. I forgot about him.
Right.
Credit to Brian Anunga. We'll get to that.
But if you think about it, like the guy in the spot,
Yes.
the entire back 5 was rotated. The entire both the front 2 were rotated.
Yeah.
And then you think about, if you want to think about Anunga as rotation, or he's the starter now that while Obi's hurt, but that's still, it's 7 to 8 players or spots in the starting outfield 10
Yeah, seriously.
that are rotated. Probably have to concede Miles
Yeah.
as a starter, even though he doesn't usually play in the center of the back 3 for us.
Right. Or, he's usually not with the team because he's off training in some international location.
Right.
Yeah. The big thing with the changes too is you knew rotation had to come, but even with the players that weren't rotated, you're talking about guys that had a lot of minutes on their legs this week and a lot of high level minutes. Like you said, playing Columbus, Miami, now making a West Coast trip, playing at a little higher altitude as well. Hotter. It was hot last night at this game.
It was.
The dry heat made it very enjoyable, but I'm also not running around playing soccer, which is a big difference.
It was more favorable conditions, though, than they would have played it Wednesday, for example.
Yeah, it was. But still, 3rd game in a week. The other thing, too, that I think is interesting about this is that they sacrifice firepower on the bench in terms of offensive firepower. We've talked about this before, that Lucas Engel is a starter. Lucas Engel has played very, very well. Lucas Engel has played very, very well as a center back. When they have had him out at wing back, especially when it's been him and Yedlin or him and Powell, that is a very conservative wing back pairing. They're not the types of wing backs that are going to generate tons of offensive opportunities. And I think we saw that, especially in the first half before Luca came into the game. When it came to the strikers, you had Dotto up top with Corey Baird. I'm sure Corey Baird's a nice guy. I don't think Corey Baird's long for this team, to be frank.
Yeah.
But when you have that as your striker pairing, you're going to probably struggle to do a lot of the things that this team has been doing well over the last, month and a half of results. And that's been having a big body like Kai Kamara up top that they can play direct to. And neither Corey nor Dotto give you the ability to play that direct.
Yeah.
And so I think when you take that tool out of the bag and you combine that with the wing backs, I think it was set up for a game where this team was going to struggle to generate offensive opportunities until the reserves came into the game. And then the only question I thought at that point was, will the reserves come in with enough time to get a result?
Yep.
And also, will Pat let them go for the result? Because I was concerned that when we got to about the 80th minute, that we were getting close to the time when we've seen Pat Noonan before play pragmatically, pull the team back, get your point, don't concede. But, full credit, they pushed for the goal that they eventually got, and they got rewarded from a individual spectacular play from Luca Orellano.
I don't really feel like they were pushing. I mean, they got the goal.
Yeah.
But it felt like they were playing conservatively at that point in the game. And took the opportunity when they had it. They certainly weren't going to give up or turn down opportunities. But felt like at that point in the game they were content to not force the issue, I would say.
Yeah.
As long as they were going to come away with something out of the game. Which isn't a terrible thought, although my only complaint about the subs is the decision to bring, not complaint, but maybe like something I want to question a little bit.
Yeah.
Is bringing Luca initially into the forward position.
Yeah.
And then, like, I don't know, 15 minutes later or something, moving him back to left wing back to bring on Sergio Santos. It felt to me like, why not? So one of the issues, right, with attacking subs is, especially in a game where you've already rotated, is you're missing some rhythm. You're missing some of the familiarity from guys who are playing in like an attacking three together all the time. And then I would think it would make sense to bring on guys who have started in those positions, like Kai, obvious choice to sub in when he subbed in.
Yeah.
But to bring Luca on at forward, a position he hasn't played much recently.
He hasn't played well.
It hasn't played well basically ever.
Was pulled from it earlier, yeah.
To just for like a little bit, and then move him back into left wing back to bring on another sub at forward feels like you're increasing the amount that you're unsettled in your attacking players, and you're doing it by starting off by bringing a guy into a position where he just hasn't been very effective, period. Whereas, it's he gets his goal after he has moved back
where he belongs
to left wing back, and I thought he looked much better.
Yeah,
at left wing back, which isn't a hard thing to say because he always has looked better
at
left wing back than at center forward.
So my thought on that was, because I had the same criticism. I thought when Kai was coming in, it made a lot of sense to pull Baird, who I thought did okay for what he was being asked to do, but was clearly not.
He was in, I'll say this for Baird, he was in great position on that header.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that was, and it's unfortunate that he wasn't able to get more out of that because he had done all of the work, and that was a great ball in.
Yeah,
Vander
perfectly places that.
And if he finishes that, our entire thought about Corey Baird's
is
game
completely different.
Is completely different.
Right.
Yeah,
he suddenly becomes a guy we're going to rely on down the stretch. Like,
he's
got
it's great.
goals.
It's great. You could throw in a guy like Corey Baird. He can get you goals.
Right.
Like lid is off the bucket. He's going to start scoring in bunches now.
So when Kai was getting ready to come in, Baird did not score that goal. I thought, oh, great. Kai will come in for Baird, and we'll see the pairing that did well against Miami up top, and that'll be fine. But then the decision to pull Dado as well, obviously, as a Dado stan, disappointed. But putting in Orellano up there made me think that maybe Noonan was experimenting with what front two will look good when or while Denke is out. That, okay, if Kai and a speedy youngster next to him worked well once, what about this other speedy youngster? That maybe the issue wasn't Orellano, maybe the issue was just the chemistry between Orellano and Denke, and maybe, Dado kind of showed a way that they could do this with a different style player next to Kai, and I think that they just ended that experiment after 15 minutes.
I would almost have rather have seen Kenji there, to be honest.
What position does Kenji play?
It sounds like he plays Kubo.
Yeah, he plays Kubo.
I mean, he plays nothing until he gets on the field for more than a couple of minutes.
Can you make Kubo a position?
Sometimes cream, sometimes not cream, always same.
Always same.
That's what
sometimes midfield, sometimes ring back, always same.
Always same. That's the Kubo position.
Yeah, never goalkeeper.
Probably never goalkeeper.
That we're aware of.
Yes. The right combination of red cards and injuries might see him there.
Yeah. It is interesting to me that Dado got pulled off this game.
Yeah.
I'm endlessly fascinated by where the club and specifically the coaching staff sees him. And I would love to know I would love this in general, but for Dotto specifically, I would love to know, like when Pat and Dom and Kenny and the coaching staff are sitting there on the sidelines, what is it that they're saying, and what is it that gets them to pull a player? Like, what is it that they see in a game where it's like, nope, not Dotto's night, or we need this instead of this? Because it's very clear to me that they see things in the attack, and I'm betting this is Dom Kinnear, just because of the way that we know that he works with the strikers and the experience he has in the league. That's no slight to Pat or Kenny.
Yeah.
It's just this would seem to be he's got like sort of an offensive coordinator vibe to him at this point in his career.
Well, I think it's pretty well established. I mean, I'm sure they all weigh in on everything, but like I think it's pretty well established that Dom works a lot with the forwards,
Right.
and Kenny works a lot with the center backs.
Right. So, like, I am curious, like, and I would love to pick his brain on this, what he is seeing from striker or forward pairings or in the offense, or how the movement is working, or how the defense is working. Because this team is interesting in that they have a striker room that is kind of cobbled together,
Yeah.
but a lot of very different skill sets.
Yes. Very different profiles.
Yeah, among the players. So I would be fascinated to know what it is that gets them to make a change. Like, oh, we are going to throw Luca up top for a few minutes, but then we're going to pull him back to wing back and put Santos on. Why not just go Santos immediately?
What was the thought there?
What was the thought there?
Or like, did something go wrong or something? Yeah.
Right. Like, and Dotto, why are, he is canonically the best goal scorer on this team, not named Evander and Kevin 10K.
Yeah.
What is it about pulling him down in that moment versus giving him an opportunity to, as the game wears on, play against tired legs? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's fascinating to me.
Another piece of it too that I would love to know more about. I'm only vaguely aware of this, but the like training bras that all the guys wear under their
What's the data being fed?
So I think they get live feeds of the data and they use that to determine the fatigue level of players. Like an individual player's top speed throughout the game, they can see it dropping over time and things like that. So it may very well be the case of we pull them when they hit a certain.
The sports bra tells us to.
When the sports bra says our little boy here is a little tuckered out.
Get him an orange slice and a Capri Sun.
Yeah.
Good job. Good luck, guys.
But I don't know exactly what that looks like, or if that's even true. But I think some of the teams do that.
Do you think it gives like resting, like heart rate for players too?
Yeah, I would love to know like what they get, because I'm pretty sure there's a GPS, and I think they track top speed and miles run. So it may very well literally be mileage. It could be, resting heart rate is just not recovering and things.
I just want to know, like, is Roman Celentano's resting heart rate in these games like 5 beats per minute? Like, the man is the coolest dude on
for
the planet.
love of God, if they have it and it doesn't violate HIPAA for whatever reason, please give me a heart rate chart of Roman throughout the course of a game.
He was great.
He was awesome.
Yeah,
He was great. He was very steady. I thought he came out in moments to kill plays at times that in the past I think you would have seen him stay closer to his line.
Yeah,
or hesitate.
There was
hesitate.
There was one where he.
Oh yeah.
It was one of the smarter plays I've seen a goalkeeper make, where it was genuinely probably a 50-50 ball over the top.
Yeah, it was close to it.
With the Real Salt Lake attacker coming forward, and Roman charged at it like a madman. And what it did was it got the guy to make a business decision and slow up, and then Roman was able to walk the ball back to the box and pick it up and collect it without having to make a sweeper keeper play.
Yeah.
But like that moment of charging out and being aggressive stopped an attack in its tracks. It was just really high level goalkeeping play.
Yeah, I think and you don't see it necessarily every game, but some people talk about like Roman's development and is he where developmentally you would want him to be, I guess 4 years in as a starter, 3.5 years in as a starter. And, I think that there's clear reasons why, we're not seeing him like start for the national team or get linked to like a move to like a top European league or something. But he has been a great shot stopper basically from day one in game. He's very calm, as Chief said, and I think that one way that we have seen him grow is being more authoritative in the box and taking more ownership of like I own this area, and that we saw some of that last night. And I think that as that continues, I think that is probably an area where you can see him jump a level.
Right. Dominate in the box like Uncle Junior.
Yeah. Right. You never had the makings of a varsity athlete.
Roman's awesome. Elite shot stopper. You need that in games like last night where they had some good chances. Real Salt Lake did. Snuffed out.
Yeah.
It's incredibly frustrating to play against a player like that.
Man.
Like I would hate to go up against Roman Celentano every week if he was on the other side.
I think it would be fair to think of this as the Roman Celentano game. I love giving matches titles like that.
Okay, but if this is going to be the Roman Celentano game, I'm going to say it's been the Brian Anunga week.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I want to throw the thought experiment out there. And I know we don't keep a catalog of these running, in the notes app on our phone, but was this Roman's best game?
No, I don't think this was Roman's best game. I think that this is a very good Roman Celentano performance.
Okay.
But I think that Roman has had better games than this, just because he's been put under siege a lot more in other games. This game, he had some good stops, but this is not a great offense that he was facing with RSL.
So,
Diego Luna is incredible, but he's faced better teams.
Just going by Mob ratings, which is not like what I would suggest going by, but it's just a quick metric comparison. So they had him at an 8.6 last night, and they have a couple of games like June 14th against New England, the 1-1 against Columbus earlier this year.
Yeah, that's fair.
The 2-1 against Nashville March 29th. Those are all games where he was rated 8.7.
Oh, wow.
So FOTMob has this as about on par with his best performances of the season, and that feels right.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would ever be able to definitively say this single game was the best goalkeeping performance of Roman Celentano's career. I have no. It feels like there's too many.
You should do this after
too many confounding variables.
Clean sheet. It's like, was this the best?
Roman Celentano game?
Oh, what was that? Was it Hell Israel last year?
What I find interesting there is that a couple of those games that he's rated slightly higher, he did give up a goal.
Yeah, right.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, it was was it Hell Israel last year where he won the MLS Save of the Year, or was that?
It was 23.
23, where I think he also had conceded a goal or two in that game.
Yeah, we won that game 3-2.
That's it.
It was a save. It was a reaction save he made late. With the I forget what crew player it was.
Yeah, it was a late, great hit.
It was like Jason Russell, AZ Jackson, or something.
Right.
And
Academy product 32. Yeah,
making $80,000 a year.
But yeah, he made a tight reaction save.
Yeah, so I don't know, maybe
to save the win.
Yeah, so maybe a moment like that makes that your best game. I don't know. I'm curious what Roman thinks. I want
every game moving forward to be Roman's best game.
Roman's best game ever.
God, so true.
I don't need it to be true. We can just say it. We can make it true.
Yeah.
For us to be true for us.
If FOTMob is giving higher ratings for games where he conceded, I think we can absolutely make this true.
Yeah, no doubt.
But Chief, you brought up Brian Anunga. Incredible. Which I have a Patreon question here, which I do hope to address. But this feels like a good time to do this. And I'm so glad I thought about this while I don't have Patreon up. But the question was about Brian Anunga. And
this isn't the Patreon section, Kevin. We can't answer Patreon questions now.
I know.
This feels like they're getting a $2 question answered in a premium segment.
You pay $3 a month and we answer it in the first part. I like that a lot. Where is it? It is from Onion Batter, who said,
What a name.
Onion Batter, who said, I heard the Soccer Wise guys.
Hey, Soccer Wise guys.
How is that not the name of the podcast? Anyway, pronouncing Brian Anunga's name as Anunga a few times now, most recently on the July 7th episode. Are they crazy or are we crazy? And
No. This is a long-standing point
yes.
that I'm very mad about.
So
they were calling him they were calling Brian Anunga on the broadcast Taj.
Yeah, or Ta or whatever.
Ta, whatever his name, whatever his real name, like whatever his actual his first name.
Yes.
Whereas like they've called him Brian since he showed up here.
And he asked to be called Brian, and the team put out a pronunciation guide for the players, and you can go look this up. Every time they sign a player, they include in the like press release how to pronounce the player's name, because they want, like people on TV and radio to talk about these press releases.
Right.
They include how to pronounce the player's name, and they have it as Anunga.
Right. But this is like, I feel like this happens to us in FC Cincinnati.
Yes.
Like, I feel like we were all being gaslit
yes.
into believing that it was pronounced Acosta and
oh
not
my
Acosta.
God, that was driving me nuts too.
And it's like, I'm sorry, the man is Lucho Acosta. Everyone says he's Lucho Acosta. Don't try to put this Acosta bullshit on me.
Yeah, I think it's what happens when somebody, like, let's say Acosta says his own name, but like with an accent, right? So like, does the accent become the actual way to pronounce the name?
You know who annoyed the shit out of me with this?
Who?
Tom Brenneman, when he was the Reds broadcaster.
Yeah.
Like, the man loved to show off the fact that he'd lived in the Southwest and understands how to pronounce Hispanic last names. Like, there was this player, completely forgettable, played for I want to say the Arizona Diamondbacks. His name was Alberto Callaspo.
Okay.
And the way Tom took joy in pronouncing Callaspo was, it was infuriating. I wanted to reach through my television set and just punch him in the face.
I have a similar thought every time there is a David versus David. Yeah, it's like, which one is right? Like, he would say David, but that name is so obviously David.
Right. Like, it's all of a sudden all these broadcasters turn into Moira Rose when it comes to pronouncing names.
Yes.
It's just infuriating to me.
But regardless, it is Brian Anunga. His first name is Ta, but he prefers to go by Brian, and we respect pronouns.
We respect choices.
Yeah.
We respect the choice. We're not gonna it's not dead name, but we're not gonna unpreferred name someone.
So I don't know where this stands now, but this is where like a moment where like it actually matters is Memphis Depay. He wanted to go by Memphis and not his first given name, which is escaping me at the moment, or a last name or whatever. It was because it was a name that he was given in reference to like an abusive father later on in life, and he like didn't want to acknowledge that part of it. And so like it was very important to him that people said his name right, even though legally his name was something a little different. Yeah. So I don't know, like, respect it. If somebody's asking you to call them Brian, like,
call him Brian.
Call him Brian.
It hurts you not, just in all walks of life.
Yeah.
If somebody is just, would you mind doing this? It hurts you not to change what you're calling someone in any given situation.
I'm realizing now I think he just wanted to be called Memphis and not Memphis Depay, and I immediately called him Memphis Depay.
But way to go.
I'm so sorry.
You wanted to go by Nashville.
Yes. But Anunga, incredible, dude, man.
Unreal. What's gotten into him? Because this is not the player we were sold we were getting. I seem to recall, to give you your flowers here, Kevin, that you did a preview with the Soccer Wise crew, that you were on with David Goss.
Yes.
And you made note of Brian Anunga being one of the players that you thought was going to be a big contributor this year and a difference maker this year. I don't think we wanted it to be in this way. And we were told that what Anunga is that the reason why he was available on a supplemental roster deal is he's a nice piece, but you can't count on him to be a ball progressor or to move the ball in the midfield. He's a back passer.
Yeah.
He is a disruptor. He's not going to help facilitate anything. My man, it's like a light switch went off, or the coaching staff, like they got a shock collar on him or something like that. All of a sudden, moving forward, progressing forward, making advancing runs, dribbling the ball last night.
Yeah.
It's gotten into this man.
This was a really fun fact. He's been in MLS. He's been in Major League Soccer since 2020 when he joined Nashville. He played in USL prior to that. Last night, now granted, I think he did a fair amount of work. But last night was literally his first MLS assist.
Crazy.
Ever. He has scored goals. I think he's scored 2 or 3 goals over the course of his MLS career, at least. Scored in a couple of different seasons, but had never recorded an assist. Only had 2 assists in the 3 or 4 years he was in USL. So crazy that he was able to do that. I think we got to give it up to the coaching, right? Like, Nashville, didn't have the world's greatest coaches by any means, but they were good teams. They were defensively stout, and he didn't have this. He didn't produce this. And all of a sudden he comes here, and in half a year, he's progressing the ball. He's making good passes, and that has even progressed over the course of the year. It is not like he showed up on day one doing this.
No.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think, it's still not ideal.
Yes.
When he has the ball at his feet, in the opponent's half, but I think that he has understood that, especially with Obi out for an extended period of time, if not the rest of the year, I think we're still staying tuned on that. If he's going to be getting a lot of starts, he's going to have to be able to, or be willing to do more than just win the ball.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad that he is stepping up to that challenge, and I hope he keeps doing that.
Love it.
Yeah.
And has been essential.
Yeah.
In both the Miami win and keeping 2 straight clean sheets this week. The Miami win and here on the road in Salt Lake City. I didn't think I was unfamiliar with the man's game.
In fairness,
I think he was unfamiliar with his game.
I was
too,
going to say, you could have been very familiar with his game and been very correct in your assumptions up until the last month or so. Yeah.
Now I'm worried what's going to happen when they have to rotate him.
So what's cool is if he has this, this club in his bag, as it were, if Obi is able to come back, you wouldn't feel terrible about Anunga filling in for Buka if you have a fully healthy, a fully operational Obi alongside.
Let's not get carried away.
No, I'm not saying you want
Sorry, I
to
blacked
start
out for a second.
Yeah, right.
I'm not saying you want to start a playoff game with that lineup. What I am saying is, I think we all assume at some point Buka will get tired and or injured if he continues at the pace that he is. And we have never had a viable substitute for him outside of maybe Kubo, who has been MIA this year. So yeah, if there's a version of 2 really good ball winners and okay progressors of the ball, yeah, you can give Buka a night off and save his legs for the playoffs.
They need another midfielder.
Desperately.
Badly.
I mean, they probably need 2.
Yeah, if only we had some U22 spots we could fill with that.
Right.
If only. Sad.
There's a lot of roster spend on the far reaches of the depth chart right now, and I don't know what the rest of the league looks like, and I'm not entirely sure how the GAM, comes back to you with a buyout, but you could imagine a world where you buy out a player or 2 that would not be terribly missed and go out and acquire a league veteran, a journeyman of some kind that can come in, not unlike Brian Anunga, to just sort of fill that role, because we are very top heavy with strikers. And we are very bottom heavy when it comes to goalkeepers and defenders and wingbacks. We have almost nothing in the midfield.
Do you think Dax watches like Brian Anunga play the ball and he's just thinking like, well, maybe I can still do it.
I could do that.
I got one more left in me
Can we get Dax out of retirement for the latter half of the year?
for the stretch run.
I'm like obviously joking, but if you could get last year's Dax McCarty on this team right now, it feels like exactly the type of signing that would make a huge difference.
I don't know if he has signed anywhere. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's staying in shape. But a similar name, Sean Nealis, I believe is a free agent. So, former Red Bull turned Nashville midfielder, was a very highly sought after free agent like 2 years ago.
I think you're thinking of Sean Davis.
I am definitely thinking of Sean Davis.
And I think he did sign somewhere.
Well, crap.
Well, then this idea is clearly not going to work. How many more supplemental roster spots do we have? Can we get some more people for free?
I actually think with Kenji coming up, we might be out.
Oh.
Like I think.
Oh no, he is not.
Is without club.
He's not playing anywhere. I mean, as far as I can tell, he's not the guy who writes for the Federalist. That's I think a different Sean Davis.
That is a different.
How does he look in the pivot?
But yeah, transfer market has him at. I think he's been doing a lot of pivoting.
Yeah.
But Sean Davis is listed as with MLS Pool.
When do we play them?
How old is he?
32.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Spring chicken.
Yeah. Compared to Kai, he's a whole other generation.
Right. He's like basically a Zoomer.
So yeah, throw him in there.
Yeah. Get the Riz on this team up.
I don't know. Maybe he's been hitting up Golden Corral every day since he retired. I would. Retired.
Yeah, hit the buffet now that you don't have to wear your sports bra fitting. Have to worry about your sports bra fitting anymore.
Dude, it's like every retired linesman like keeps eating the way that they were eating when they were playing, but now they're not playing. They just balloon 100 pounds.
The midfield needs help.
Yes.
I don't care where it comes from, but
yeah,
what an incredible found money story Brian Anunga is. Only other thing I want to talk about in this game, sick goal.
Oh my God. So good.
Sick.
It's what we thought we would see more of with Orellano. If you want to critique it, it's another shot from outside of the box. If you look at the XG table, I'm sure we're going to get relegated, right? Like that's what it looks like. But it's a hell of a shot. He gets the ball on his left foot, and Anunga, like I said, it's like the pass itself is not particularly like, wow, look at that assist. He earned that. But what's great is he's dribbling forward and like dribbles into where I think Anunga has like maybe found his way forward literally here is if you dribble into the defender, you now are playing a version of defense where you have to get the ball off of the defender. And so, yeah, if you just keep charging into defenders with dribbling, it's great. And then he fights the defender off, gets the pass out to Orellano, who in one touch puts it right on his preferred foot. And it's an incredible goal. And watching it live, I think we all had this reaction, did not realize it was that far out. Like It was a cool goal, but then you watch the replay and go, oh, damn, he was like well outside the box.
Right. What do we make of Pavel's reaction to this goal?
I think it's one of those like,
whoa. Shut up. Don't want to use ChatGPT to answer. Shut up.
Never again. I guess, I think what you're referring to is Pavel kind of like throwing his hands up half-heartedly after the goal goes in. I think it was one of those just like, we've like worked so hard all game. It's been really hard to try to like generate chances and play with the balls and stuff, and then Luca's just going to do that, and now we win.
Why couldn't you have done this an hour ago?
Yeah, we could say this.
It's just like, well, if we were just going to do this, like, what is going on?
So the leading clubhouse contenders are Number one, that there was some sort of a inadvertent whistle that was heard where he thought that they were going to call the goal back, or there was something that like he thought in the moment that the goal was being called back.
That would make sense.
There was also the throwing his hands up like, oh my God, this is incredible. I don't know even how to react to this.
Yeah.
What I want to believe is that he thought he had a better shot.
That's great. Like the classic pouting striker who's like pointing to their feet.
Right.
I was wide open.
Like he, for some reason, was granted a brief glimpse of the future.
Yes.
By the seers and the muses, and knew that if the ball had found its way to him, he was going to score the PostCast nominee.
Yeah, right. He's
been denied that. That is a quantum reality that is now closed forever, and he will never know the joy and the accolades that could have come his way as a result.
Yeah. I don't. Is it possible he thought he missed or was going to miss, and so reacted?
The ball's already in when.
Yeah, right. When he does the reaction,
he does it. Yeah.
It is so funny though, because if you only saw his reaction and didn't know what else was going, you would assume that it was a miss.
Right.
Like it's how you would react to a guy missing a long range shot where you go, man, come on, we could have kept working it. So.
We know it's not a gambling scandal where he bet the live like draw because it's Utah. There's no gambling allowed in the state.
It's true. It wasn't going to pan out that way.
Maybe he's got a VPN.
VPN at halftime. Let's get the draw.
Throw a little action in on there. It's like, yeah, we don't got it tonight, guys.
Calls his bookie back wherever.
Pavel being a degenerate gambler would be the funniest thing ever.
We did not call out, and I think we should.
Please.
The cheeky little touch from Evander in the midfield to find Anunga in space, leading up to the goal. It's like the kind of thing that it's just like it looks like so casual and effortless, but it's actually like a real nice play that because of the position he's in, how quickly he does it, and how accurate the pass is, it opens up the field for Anunga to drive the ball forward.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to ask, is Evander washed?
Actually,
no goals this game? What's going on?
Chief, I need you to keep asking that question because it feels like the moment you question Evander is the moment he proves you wrong. So you cannot ever be on his side or ever think that he's the greatest player because that is the day that he will actually take off.
Yeah, I just many people are asking. He scores a goal in 5 straight games. Doesn't score a goal here. Is this the beginning of the end of Evander's career? Kevin, your thoughts?
Actually, it does remind me of Messi against Red Bull this weekend. Got a brace, so he has now had a brace in like 6 or 5 of the last 6 games, or 6 of the last 7 games, and it's just like, oh yeah, not against us.
No,
couldn't do it in old Cincy.
Couldn't do it, man. Sorry, I guess the air disagreed with you in Cincinnati.
So maybe Evander is looking at RSL like Messi looks at us.
What's that like? There's that hacky, cliched, like, parent cry core content where it's like, you don't realize that one day will be the last day you pick your kids up.
Yeah.
One day will be the last day Evander scores a goal. And you won't know what that day is.
Okay. I think we're probably done with this game.
No. Actually, the perfect transition for that. FC Dallas releasing a statement that Lucha was unavailable for personal reasons. I'm going to hope that
this segment doesn't air, like this doesn't age poorly.
Oh, dude, I wanted so badly to say something about it on Twitter, and I was just like, that'll be the time that somebody passed away, and you just look like the worst human being in the world.
No, trust me, there is nothing you can do to look like the worst human being in the world on X, the everything app. It's all happening on X. No matter what you do, there is someone acting far worse than you on that app.
And that's a feature. That's a good thing.
It is a feature, yeah.
But we thought we had it so good with Lucho. There was a debate, do you build a statue of Lucho? All of these things. And then, suddenly we did see his last game, and we never knew it was his last game, and we never got to say goodbye.
We got to say goodbye.
Yeah, we didn't.
You just didn't like the way we said goodbye.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I guess that is something to think about, and then to very quickly not think about it, as Grayson suggested.
Now he'll score 3 on Saturday.
Yes.
So the FC wins, and gentlemen, as I look at my favorite part of the internet, Supporter Shield standings.
Oh, baby.
and I scroll up to the top. I see FC Cincinnati once again leading the Supporters Shield race. And gentlemen, with 10 matches to go,
Wild.
the hour is
I can't
getting
believe
late.
I can't believe we're that far into the season.
Neither can I. Like, I did a double take looking at the table
Yeah.
last night with like 20. I Googled how many games is the MLS season, because I know in my head it's 34, but I was certain like, oh, they had to have upped it to 38 or something like that.
Yeah, I thought it was 36. I've just been
Right.
operating under 36 this
But
whole
no,
time.
there are only 10 MLS regular season games to play. It's a 10-game sprint to the finish line, and you'd rather be in first
Yeah.
than would to make this run.
Well, it's funny because there's 10 games left. So you would think like, oh, so the season ends at the end of August then. But no, it'll go until late October.
Yeah, late October. Somehow this season is going to stretch itself out to October. Somehow Palpatine returned.
Yes. But you like where we stand. I think Miami can catch us thanks to the Crew result. They have now been sort of readjusted back into a position where points per game they can catch us by 1 point. But so far so good, man. Like,
We're on a 2 point per game pace right
Yeah.
now. That's insane at this point in the year.
and I know they don't let you hang a banner because we all would.
You can hang a banner for anything. Man.
That's true. That's
You
true.
can hang a banner for whatever you want. It's just you might get clowned for it.
You don't get a trophy for leading the top of the Shield
We're
standings.
first place in points per match.
Are we?
are. Yeah.
I thought Miami could get 9 more points with their remaining games.
But that would increase their points per match by quite a bit.
Yeah.
You don't like you're
They
assuming they win. You're assuming they take all 3.
Sorry, I didn't say that we're not leading in points per game. I just said that they could catch us with the games. In hand.
Okay, I misheard you.
But fair point.
Yeah, you had a bad connection over Zoom there for a second.
you must have glitched out right there.
But that's the thing is like
Yeah.
they always. That is interesting. I guess like not interesting, but it's people talk about points per. They talk about games in hand
Yes.
as if the team behind is going to take
Yes.
3 points for every game in hand. You
Yes.
know, and like that would be 3 points per match, which would be 102
2 points.
points
Yeah.
Yeah.
over the course of the season, which would set the MLS points record by 30.
Significantly.
By
Like
a half a season.
I concede if some other team wins every game, we're probably not going to win Supporters Shield.
Fair
So
play.
so you can't at this point in the season, like you can't just look back at Miami and say, oh, they're going to catch us with points per match.
Right.
You just worry about yourself. You take care of your own business,
Yeah.
and as long as you do that, those games in hand aren't going to matter.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I don't know if it counts as a game in hand, but we get to play them another time. So,
Correct.
Right. So
So,
we can
They call those 6-pointers for some reason.
do we get 6 points?
be awesome. It'd be a lot cooler if we did.
Actually, okay. So MLS should let you like gamble like 5 points throughout the year. You just get like 5 points in.
It's like last call trivia where you can bet like, oh, this
Yes.
is a 5-point game. I'm gonna use my 5-point game for this one because we're definitely winning it.
So you have it, but you can't just apply it to your total. You can risk them in games, which would I think.
And if you lose, your opponent
yes, they get
gets
your
the
points.
bonus points. And if you
Yes.
tie, you split the bonus points.
Yes. So
But
yeah.
if you tie, you get nothing.
Ooh, the bonus points go away. That would be interesting.
I like the idea though of the opponent getting some of your bonus if you tie.
I like that. So you have
Encourage more ties, I think.
But this is where it's fun because you would bet more points against bad teams. So now the bad team has like extra motivation and incentive to
Like some team is going to avoid the spoon
yes.
because they tied Nashville in a Nashville bonus game.
And an actual like
'cause-
the 5-pointer.
because
Yeah.
Nashville went into Montreal and was like, "Oh, we'll
We
throw
got
4
this.
extra
We got
points
this."
on this game."
Manager in the locker room. It's like they think so little of us. They're using us for their bonus game right
Yes, that's what I'm saying. And so now, what should be a stomping now has like so much more motivation.
here. Love this idea actually.
Come on.
Well, like, and They're considering conferences in this dumb league. Like, put the bonus game in if we're going to do that.
Yeah, I need some extra bonus points. So yeah, 10 games left.
So the Supporter Shield standings as we sit right here.
Yes.
Cincinnati with 48 points. Nashville with 47 points. Tied with Philly with 47 points. Columbus on 44. Really makes you wish we would have won that Hell is Real game. And I think, honestly, they're out of the race, I think, if we win that game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that they're done. They're 10 points back then at that point. San Diego on 43, Vancouver on 42, Miami on 41, Minnesota on 41. And I think that's kind of the demarcation point. You got Orlando at 38. It is going to be, we talked about this in the World's Game. We talked a little bit about this with Weeby too. It is going to be an electric finish. And there's only one thing I'm certain of, and that's that the league will fuck up the marketing of this.
Yes, of course.
They will absolutely not capitalize on the fact that it is going to be one of the most exciting stretch runs for the Supporters Shield.
Like I believe Vancouver and San Diego played each other this weekend, and like that is an incredibly impactful game on the Supporters Shield standings. There's 6 to 10 other teams that absolutely should have been tuning into that to see how that shakes out, and the fact that they drew is sort of the ideal result for every other team. So it's I don't know, it's exciting, it's fun.
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting. I think it's going to be a lower Supporter Shield winning point total than the last 2 years, because we just saw what happened with all the good teams this past week.
Yeah.
Columbus beat us, Nashville beat Columbus, we beat Miami. And I think we're going to keep seeing that. I mean,
Miami beat Nashville, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, Miami beat Nashville. So we have Miami, we have Philadelphia, we have Nashville, we have Orlando, all left on the calendar. So
I think
those teams all have us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. I think annoyingly, Columbus does not have any more Shield contenders on their roster. I believe they have to play on their schedule. Yeah, they only they play Orlando twice, but I think that's about as tough of a game they have left on their schedule. So
there's going to be a few results. As I'm hoping FC Cincinnati wins Shield. Obviously, I hope we at least stay in the race until late in the season. I have a feeling there's going to be a couple of games we're going to look back on when we get to like August and September and really, really wish we'd have done
the one bad week, man.
Right.
The one bad week in this team, it's not his Shield race anymore.
Right. The one bad week, and then like the NYCFC game, that wasn't during the bad week, was it? They lost.
That was
1-0.
before.
That was before.
Like that's one where I'm thinking I'm gonna be looking back on that one between that and the Dallas game.
Yeah, the Dallas, DC, Atlanta. That stretch was brutal. If we had managed to draw against Philadelphia instead of lose in the way that we did, like this is a wildly different looking season.
But you love where we're at right now. I love where we're at right now. There's gonna be a lot of fun games left.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of the fact that we got tough games left. I would much rather, like, it's gonna be tougher to win Shield.
Mm-hmm.
But as I've said before, my number one prize is MLS Cup. I would rather be playing the best going into MLS Cup and really testing ourselves against the best.
Yeah. We have Miami next on Saturday. After that, it's 3 Leagues Cup matches. We'll talk about it after the Miami match, but just something to keep in mind of given where the Shield race is, given what our aspirations are in the playoffs, what should be the perspective going into Leagues Cup?
I think Leagues Cup will be a good time to reset and talk a little bit about where this team is headed down the stretch. The other thing to keep your eye on, and this will be good content on the World's Game as well, is the summer window opens in 4 days.
Yeah.
July 24th.
Yeah.
Little concerning. We haven't seen Ender Echenike or haven't heard that he's in the country.
Yeah.
Or that he hasn't been like at MHTC doing work off to the side away from the team until his paperwork comes through. I guess watch this space to see if we get any news on that this week. I would love to have him get available and get acclimated as quickly as possible because they need the help out there, frankly.
Do you think the Trump administration is like chomping at the bit to expedite in a young fighting age Venezuelan.
Well, we've been working on getting a certain member of the administration on the podcast.
It's currently a one-man effort.
No, I've participated.
Scheduling has been a little tricky, but I'm optimistic that we'll be able to, find a time that works for everybody.
We are never beating the allegations.
Maybe ask this question.
What was the phrase that they used in Iraq? They would use like a combatant aged male,
fighting age,
military aged male.
Yeah, so a man from the age of 13 to 50, I think, is what they called it.
Yeah,
military aged male. Ma'am, this is an Arby's. But the thing to watch out for, not only with that for us, is that transfer rumors swirling.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know where players are going to end up. You don't know who might be on the radar to be bought out of the league.
Yeah.
So you could find one or two of these teams.
Yep.
Hopefully not us, but you could find one or two of these teams in a shield race where they end up in a situation where they've got a player that is highly coveted.
Yep.
And they're making decisions about whether transfers happen. And that can be in the form of a roster gets weaker.
Yep.
Or a player gets significantly less interested in grinding out games and winning a supporter shield. So,
and the thing to keep your eye on this week is the deadline to tag Obi as a season-ending injury.
Has to happen before the 24th.
It has to happen before the 24th. If you want to get budget relief, meaning if you want to be able to use Obi's salary cap resources to sign a replacement player,
which is $800,000, $700,000.
Prorated.
It's like close to, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's
Sure.
I think it is prorated, but he's on like close to $1 million, I think, in salary.
Okay. So yeah, even if that is prorated and that's, $300,000, $400,000, yeah, you could certainly imagine going out and getting somebody. Grayson, is there a deadline for buying out a player or?
Yeah, you have to, if you want to buy out a player, you can buy out 2 players.
Yes.
Yeah. You have to do it by the end of the second transfer window.
Okay.
There's no point to doing it any later because the window will be closed. I mean, I guess
you can sign a free agent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's also no point in doing it unless you need to get a guy off your books like yesterday.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really see it. I wouldn't really expect to see it happen until they are in a position to bring in whatever new players they want to bring in.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, since you don't have to do it by the time the secondary window opens on the 24th.
That's what I was worried about.
You can bide your time.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, the reason why, please.
Like, I know Galaxy bought out and waived a few people early in the season.
Mm-hmm.
That was because they were so far over the cap that they had to get cap compliant.
Yeah. Right, and that was mostly because of the roster bonuses they were paying out.
Yeah, and so we're not in that situation.
Bonuses, I should say.
We're not in that. I mean, if we were in that position, guys would have been bought out already.
Yeah.
So, like, the only reason you would buy out anybody, in my view, on this team is you want to bring in different players, and that's the only way you can free up space.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have a buyout until you had a player signed.
Right. Or on the verge of signing.
Yeah. The reason why I bring it up is, one, if we are truly in a GAM crunch, which again, stay woke, I don't think we are. But if we are truly in a GAM crunch, that would be one way to make it work. I'm also fairly certain we are out of senior roster spots. So
I think we're out of international spots. I feel like we have a senior roster spot still.
Okay. But yeah, if we depending on how that shakes out, we may have to necessarily get rid of somebody, even if we had a whole bunch of extra cash just to be able to sign them. So so there you go.
Cool.
Fun stuff.
Good stuff. So, good game.
Yeah.
It's been a fun weekend in Salt Lake City.
It really has.
away days, we'll get more into the stuff we did.
Yeah.
I want to answer a few Patreon questions in segment 2 and get out of here. I think it'd be fun to do some Patreon questions while we're all sitting in the room together. I think this is a little more conducive to stupidity when we're not on Zoom.
Absolutely. Let's do that.
All right. So stick around through the break. We'll answer some Patreon questions, and we'll wrap things up here from Salt Lake City after that. So stay tuned. Oh, we're back. So we had a little snafu with the recording setup here. And what's hilarious about it is that we were starting to answer Patreon questions. I looked down to check the levels on the recording and realized that the recorder's battery had died. And there was that moment of panic of, oh my God, how much of our content did we lose? And it turned out that it had ended exactly at the segment break.
So good. Like, I'm worried that because I like to snap to be able to quickly find where the edit goes. And I was worried that I broke it.
Yeah. But we're good. We were only into the first Patreon question. So, Kevin, do you want to reread this Patreon question? We'll try to be funny, repeating ourselves.
We'll recreate the magic that it was. But again, huge thank you to everybody who supports us on Patreon. There is almost no exclusive content there. This is out of the goodness of people's heart. $2 a month allows us to keep the show running, pays hosting fees, pays for some of the software that we use to edit the podcast and host the podcast. And it's hugely thankful. And it allows us to do fun stuff like this. So first question up is from Red Lee, who asks, besides 11v11 on a full grass field, what is your favorite variation of soccer, including futsal, beach soccer, indoor soccer, Kings League, etc., etc.?
Yeah, and what I said on this, and I'll repeat myself because
Please.
I think it's the answer I would give no matter what. I like the TST format. I like the running substitutions. I like the smaller field they use. I like the action. I like the format. I think that if I'm not going to watch full soccer, TST is a great product to consume on that. The one I don't like is, and this is new, I didn't say this last time. I'm not a beach soccer fan. Doesn't do it for me.
I love beach soccer. That was going to be my answer.
It's weird. Everyone moves weirdly just because of the way the ball is or the way the sand works. It feels wrong.
What I like about beach soccer is the skills don't translate super well. Like, there are certainly people that specialize in beach soccer, and I don't think that like a pro off of a major league soccer team could walk into beach soccer and be the best player at beach soccer, which I appreciate. Whereas like flag football, as I'm sure we will all learn, I assume will be dominated by any and all, D1 college players that never got drafted.
Have you been following the controversy about this?
Yeah,
with like the flag football players saying, we built this sport, we're the ones that deserve to go to the Olympics. Like, we're like the NFL players, they don't know how to play flag football. It's like, my man, like Jamar Chase would rock any single one of you.
Yeah.
It would be non-competitive. Like, really? You think that you're a better choice to play in the Olympics than Mike Evans or Justin Jefferson?
I do appreciate where they're coming from,
they're delusional.
Because they kept it alive. Like, if there was nobody playing it at a quote unquote high level, there wouldn't be this fallback to say, oh, we can get American football in the Olympics because we have this other thing. If there wasn't that other thing.
The only reason the American football's in the Olympics is because we get to pick a sport as a host. It's never coming back after this.
Absolutely. But I also think in a world where concussions are taken seriously, the future of football might look a little bit like flag football. So
you're beach soccer. Grayson, what are you?
So I think TST is probably the best other option I've seen.
I would agree,
from a spectator standpoint. But as for what I like to play, I've always been partial to indoor. I like, it's the larger the field of play gets, the more my cardio deficiencies kind of show.
Yes.
So I like a small field where you're playing with the ball more. You don't have to move very far. You might have to do like a little sprint here and there, but mostly it's like, mostly it's just playing with the ball and then trying to get those angles off the wall,
Yeah.
But the thing that I always wanted to like kind of have more opportunities to play growing up is futsal.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious to see if young kids in the U.S. start to play that more and more.
Yeah. I have two younger cousins who did fairly well for themselves when it came to playing soccer, and they both played futsal, and it helped them tremendously. And it's not just a smaller ball, it's also a heavier ball too, which it just helps build a lot of skills that help translate. So yeah, I think FC Cincinnati, I know they've been building the futsal courts.
Are they still doing that? I know when they started as a USL club, that was a big initiative, was to put futsal goals in basketball courts.
Yeah, I think they got some of it. I think where they could maybe help a little bit more, and this could be very self-serving, but I think it would be helpful, is somehow get like futsal into the curriculum of Cincinnati Public and like help build out the Cincinnati Public gyms to be able to allow futsal play.
I've actually seen like out on the west side, driven by some of those futsal courts and seen them, fully occupied,
Nice,
being used, and I think that's cool. I just hope we see more of that.
Yeah,
but it's essential. Like that kind of stuff is essential to what the long-term success of FC Cincinnati looks like, because of the recruiting pipeline and the academy development and just building a network of more kids playing earlier and developing skills earlier. Like getting people in the community used to the idea of let's go have a pickup game of soccer as opposed to a pickup game of hoops.
Yeah, at the end of the day, great coaching will get you very far. I think just getting reps and just playing lots of soccer is going to help build soccer players.
You talk about like creative players, and this is definitely, I think, people who aren't necessarily soccer fans would appreciate, like, players that grew up playing like basketball, playing like street ball and like being able to like invent moves on the fly, and stuff like that's how you develop like really creative, entertaining players. And you don't develop that in like highly structured, competitive youth soccer formats that are maybe better at teaching like tactics and positional play.
Yes.
But things like futsal, where it's completely unstructured and it's just like your own inventiveness and how you're going to get the ball by somebody.
Yeah.
Develops those individual skills that I think are still pretty necessary in a, even as soccer gets so like tactically focused around the world, it is still one, individual play that sometimes takes you over the top, and two, individual play that fans will find most thrilling.
Yeah.
And that gets shared on social media.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like we saw him yesterday, Diego Luna, man, like as a cool player. I want more players like that. All right, so this is a great one. This comes from Jared S., who I feel very confident that we got to meet when we were out here.
If it is that individual, I would say it was very enjoyable.
Yeah.
Getting to meet him and others face to face on this trip.
We should mention that
before we
get any further on this, because we're going to have a full away days video. I think it's going to be very entertaining based on how much fun I had.
Yes.
I don't know if other people will find it fun, but I had a blast.
Make people watch our vacation photo slideshow. Yeah.
But we had a pregame before the Real Salt Lake game yesterday. We went up to a brewery. Utah liquor laws, incredibly stupid. You have to either go to a restaurant where anyone can get in, or go to a brewery or a bar where it's more free seating. Yeah. Traditionally what you would expect a brewery to look like, but you have to be over 21 to get in. Yeah. So apologies to anyone that had kids. I know we had some of the 12s that brought their families out and couldn't join us, but we had a really nice turnout of FC Cincinnati fans. I'd say we had
cool.
about like 20, 25 people that showed up.
Yeah.
Got to meet a lot of the listeners that traveled. Saw at least one or two of them that are expats from Cincinnati living out in the West, coming out for the game. It was a ton of fun. Want to thank everybody that showed up. Thanks to Two Row Brewing for being great hosts for us.
Yeah.
But it was really, really neat to see everyone come together and just to hear the stories from people like, yeah, we're making a vacation out of our away days.
Yeah.
We are coming out west to see this game, but then we're going to go see the national parks. I was talking to a couple of listeners where they had rented a Sprinter van.
Oh, that was so cool.
And they're gonna van life
Yes,
for a week, driving around, hiking, camping, and just be in a van. And I was never more jealous. I was like, do you have room for a third?
Yeah, right.
I'd rather have my wife with
Some
me. But
ethical non-monogamy.
yeah, it's Utah, man. Anything goes.
Come on
But
now.
just the idea of just getting in a van and going away. That was like, going off the grid for a week.
That was the first time it hit me because it was like a guilty pleasure of mine. I love watching like Sprinter van conversions into van life videos. I don't really care about like the vlogging. I like watching them build them out.
Right.
I'd never thought about renting one. I didn't even think that was a possibility.
I'm going to do some more research.
Yes. Away days next year.
Yeah.
No, but Jared asks a great question here, which is which Disney princess do you most identify with, and why?
I'm dying to hear Grayson's answer on this.
Gotta think about it. So feel free to jump in.
Okay, I have an answer.
All right.
This is a real cop-out answer. The Disney princess I most identify with is Moana, because Moana insists she's not a princess. I gotta be honest, I don't really feel like a princess either. So I feel like we're kindred spirits in that sense.
Yeah, because Disney princess means generally any female lead of
in
a Disney movie. Right.
So there are some controversies around this, right? Like, is Mulan a Disney princess?
Obviously.
I don't think
Princess Leia.
she's not. I think she is now. Damn, maybe that's the right answer.
I too like floating in the void of space and somehow surviving.
But does Mulan marry into royalty at the end? Because she's certainly not a royal when we start. I just don't know where she becomes a princess.
It's been a minute. It's been a hot minute since I watched Mulan.
I'm gonna go with Belle.
Yeah, it's a good choice.
Because I understand what it's like to be, smarter than everybody in your little provincial town, and yet never leaving.
Yeah, and being trapped with a whole host of characters that you're not really thrilled about being
trapped in an old house.
Yeah,
right.
That it sometimes feels like it's either literally or metaphorically trying to trap you.
Yes.
I thought about Belle.
Not being able to keep flowers alive. I have that problem too.
Yeah.
Do you want to go home and tell your wife that you think that you married a beast?
No, wait.
You ever see that SNL skit with Gerard Butler, and it's like Beauty and the Beast, and Belle like realizes that
She liked the beast better.
no, that the beast thought like she was the beast, and she's like what? He's like, well, I mean, you're like a 6, but you were the one throwing the word beast around.
That's really funny.
There's a great rabbit hole you can dive down where it's like, Gaston really was right about everything.
I mean, that movie might as well be a documentary on Stockholm Syndrome.
Like Gaston actually also smarter than everybody else in the town as well. Like uses more big words, natural leadership.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Eats a lot of eggs.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Kita from Atlantis because I frequently sound like I'm illiterate.
Wow.
Big plot point in that movie. She can't read.
Yeah, but Chief, I haven't thought about the movie
Just like
Atlantis.
Leah Michelle.
Yeah.
Man, that's great. What a good answer. Kyle Butler asks, will we be getting a third kit? And if so, what would your dream third kit look like?
Breaking news.
Uh-oh.
I don't think this is breaking news. I think it's safe to say we're not getting a third kit.
Damn. We are
not getting a third kit. What I can say.
Ooh.
This is not.
Careful.
Yeah. I have been told that we made the decision that this was not the window for us to launch a third kit. And there's a lot of reasons for that. But I think it's important to remember that this round of third kits, they all followed a specific theme. And the theme was retro. So if you're going to do a retro kit, and what I've also been told is that Adidas is a hard no on ever having a third kit that is just a redesign of a previously existing kit. They won't do like a throwback.
So we're not going to get like a third kit bomb pop.
Yeah, the bomb pop isn't going to come back. Number one, it's a Nike design.
Oh,
So
true.
you would have to ask Adidas to do the Nike design. And number two, they don't like doing that, or they're disinclined to do that, if you will.
Well, it's so funny.
Keira Knightley, is she a Disney princess? Pirates of the Caribbean?
I guess.
I don't think royalty is involved no matter which way she gets married or hitched up here. But
She got a raw deal. Like, she fell in love with, what's his name? Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, she and Katy Perry.
Daniel or Will Turner.
Will
Oh,
Turner.
we got
Son of
there. We got
Bootstraps
there.
Bill Turner. Yeah.
We got there.
But, like, then he turns into, an undead captain of a boat that can only visit her once a year.
Maybe she likes that.
Maybe. It's a situation ship. She doesn't.
Maybe she likes her space.
That works for her.
Maybe he like makes a mess in the kitchen and doesn't like clean as he cooks.
Right.
So he has
called
to be
I believe it's called a
banished
galley
for a
on
year.
boat.
Yeah. What were we
So
saying?
we're talking third kits. But so if we were going to have a third
Did they
kit,
get to pick the day
the day
that he gets to see her?
it's Will Turner Day.
Or is it just like what if like it's just like a bad day?
Oh,
Well, she's
yeah.
got other shit going on.
Yeah.
It's like, I have plans. I can't see you today.
Oh shit, babe, I'm out of town.
Right. Like he sails into port. It's like, I get one day a
It's like
year.
I
and
made
you're
a
not
massage
here.
appointment. If I cancel, it's gonna be another 2 months.
Do you have any idea how hard it is to get reservations at this place?
Oh, but what if it's randomized and you somehow end up with 2 days back to back? I think you're basically going 2 years without seeing them.
You would definitely want to like make sure that like you showed up on the longest day of the year, like there's the most sunlight.
That's a good point. A winter solstice
Yeah,
visit.
winter solstice visits. Well, it depends on what you want to do with your visit.
Fair enough.
A lot of nighttime might be a feature. Not a
All right,
bug.
what was the question again?
The kits, third kits.
What would we do?
What would you
I
do as
don't-
a third kit?
I guess let's do the worst uniforms in the city's history. The Cincinnati Bearcats basketball uniforms that look like the sleeves were cut off.
Yes. Let's do that.
Let's do that.
Flesh-colored sleeves.
Yeah, so my answer, honestly, we didn't get one this time around. Timing wasn't right. Like, if they were going to do a retro kit, do you really want a Cincinnati Comets kit?
No, I want a Silverbacks kit.
Well, if somebody else owns the IP for that, you'd have to negotiate for that. What I would want to do,
I think we've got people who can negotiate with those people.
With IP.
one of them might be sitting in this room right here. What I want MLS to do you remember in the 90s, baseball did a turn forward the clock uniforms?
Yes.
And they're the most hideous things known to
With
mankind.
the gigantic logo that's like askew.
Yeah, like the giant Pittsburgh Pirates logo.
Yeah.
And there was like the Mercury Mets or something like that. I want an awful future looking kit that will age horridly for the third kit.
I want something 100 years in the future, or like an 1800s kit. I want like the threaded collar that goes across the top, like with the cord.
I just want a collar, any kind of collared kit. I love a collar.
Ooh, yeah.
A collared kit would be a good way to do that. But I want a Silverbacks. Or
What if it was like a knit kit?
Like wool.
Yeah.
So hot. Everyone wearing a wool kit with a summer weight scarf. Like, but
you
so
would-
backwards.
You would look kind of classy at the beginning of the game. You look like you're going to, the country club or something.
Are the teams wearing these third kits?
I haven't even seen. Probably know that.
Because
You
part of
host
it,
an MLS podcast. It seems like a very basic question.
part of it looked like just a fashion exercise, and at that point, yeah, a knit kit is incredible. If the team has to actually wear this, then yeah, I don't think that's getting off the ground. But I only bring that up because I feel like most of them I saw did not have kit sponsors on them.
The Columbus had, though, a sponsor on the back.
Oh,
like
so
on the
maybe they
it
are
was like
wearing
a tramp
these.
stamp sponsorship.
Oh, maybe they are wearing these. Okay. Got another question for us here, which is PostCast and fans pickup game with a see no evil emoji covering their eyes. This is from Cruz.
I mean, if you've taken one look at me, you know that I'm not going to be useful on a soccer field.
I'm not keen to do it. However, I am okay with the idea of I kind of like the idea of like a postcast like cookout at like a park where we get a picnic like shelter and there's like cornhole and like different games and stuff like that. Part of that seems really fun and quaint.
Just do it at street side.
But I don't think there's enough room and we can't like barbecue like super cheap crappy hot dogs and stuff. That's what I want. I want something like a graduation party at a park, but it's just the postcast.
Postcast hot dog eating contest.
Postcast. In 5 years, we can do a postcast quinceañera for the team.
That'd be adorable.
What's it like? Away days in your own city.
Oh, home day.
Yeah, home day. Learn to love your own city.
We can hire those guys from the place 2 doors down from the bar last night.
The mariachi guys.
Yeah.
Or the jokers.
I was going to say, you're going to bring the
really
jokers.
Or the jokers.
Oh, my God. Final question
Like
here.
scary juggalos.
This question is, what is the funniest way you or someone you know has lost their job?
Funniest way?
The funniest way somebody has lost their
so
job.
my brother-in-law was at a Coldplay concert.
No.
We talked about this earlier. Like, I think there's a non-zero chance this was a fake story to build like brand equity for astronomy or whatever.
I don't think so.
Can you say that with certainty though? Can you say it's 100% certain of that?
I can't say anything with 100% certainty. But I would say with as much certainty as I'm willing to ascribe to any belief that it was real.
Yeah, I think too many things have to go right for that to.
And like the woman next to them, like that wasn't like a professional actor
that we know of.
Yeah, but come on, look, like
a lot of people did theater in high school.
Her face was yeah.
It was Kate Blanchett actually was right next to them.
People who did theater in high school can't pull off that face in that moment.
And there's footage of them before that has come out from behind where they sneak a smooch. Ooh. So if it was planted, they were playing the long game.
Funniest way that anyone ever lost a job.
So I have one. This is funny. When I was in college and a little bit in high school, I worked at a Christian summer camp where in the summer we lived up there, and we were not counselors, although we were occasionally like substitute counselors, but we were like the grounds crew and the kitchen staff and lifeguards and things like that. We'd like help make the camp run, and then camps would like come in and like rent out the camp to manage the camp. Anyway, on the staff is a good mix of, college age girls and guys. So there was, as you might imagine, things happen. And one of my funniest memories though was there was a couple that had snuck away and then came back and somehow managed to get 2 perfect, like cartoonish handprints on the girl's butt. On her shorts. It was just so obvious what had happened, and he was politely asked to leave. That was the end of that. It was just so obvious that what had happened there.
It's tough scenes right there.
So yeah, just the the big old handprint on the shorts.
Sometimes the evidence is very incriminating. You don't have to work hard to do the investigation.
And it was such a perfect handprint because I saw it too. It was like there was no arguing that we fell in the mud or something. It was just so perfect. It's so funny. If you were trying to get fired, that's about what you would have done.
When I was working at the movie theater, I got demoted, fired, rehired and re-promoted all within the span of a single conversation with a manager. Like I emerged in the same position that I had entered the back office, but there was a roller coaster ride to get there.
Wow. Do they just like not have the full story of a situation or something?
I don't know. I was being a shithead.
Oh,
Probably.
okay, fair enough.
It was 100% my fault. Like,
You
what was going
deserved
on.
some of it.
I absolutely deserved something to happen there. What else? Not enough people voted for my boss. That's a fun way to get fired.
Lost the popularity contest.
Lost the popularity contest. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough scenes for your boy.
Yeah. I mean, I lost some office politics one time at a job. That was a bummer. I went from getting a raise and a promotion to 3 months later being immediately let go the day after leadership changed. So that was cool.
I don't have anything here.
Damn.
Unfortunate.
No funny stories.
Yeah.
No friends. I had a friend that was he was working as a beer sales rep, and
I have one.
okay,
Please.
I have a guy who I'm gonna try to be as vague about this as I can.
Yeah.
I know a guy who would dabble in local politics from time to time. Like he would, as like a side gig, like work on campaigns, manage campaign, social media accounts and stuff.
Yeah.
And he once got into a Twitter argument on his personal account with an opposing candidate.
Okay.
That candidate lost.
Mm-hmm.
So my friend's candidate won.
Yeah.
And the losing candidate took a job at the company my friend worked for in a very senior role.
Oh no.
And then my friend was out on his butt pretty quickly from there.
Obviously very sad. Losing your job like that is always tough. But my God, just the hater energy.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're going to talk shit? Well, how about I just become your boss and fire you?
there was a guy. I got to be vague about this one too. Worked with a family member, I'll say.
Okay.
Not someone I worked with.
Okay.
Worked in the television industry,
Okay.
and for whatever reason, they were going out and they were shooting video at like local events to put on the evening news.
Yeah.
And they went and they were covering an event. They were just getting B-roll footage for the event. But as a result of being there, they got their footage and they left, but missed an incredible thing that happened.
Oh,
I'm trying to
no.
be vague
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah.
That their competitors were there for.
Oh, no.
So what they did was they just recorded the footage off their competitor's broadcast.
No.
And instead
boy.
of editing it properly to make it less obvious,
No.
they left in the logo for the other
No.
that's down at the bottom of the screen.
What they should have done is just recorded themselves reacting to that
Yeah,
footage.
no, this was before.
That would have fixed it.
Yeah.
The news reaction channel to watching the other channel's news.
Yeah, no, the reaction. Like, this is the footage we would have had if we would have stayed like 20 minutes longer. So this person was no longer employed as a result of that.
To have the instinct to film their broadcast, but to not like somehow, crop or zoom in enough to avoid the logo, which is normally in the corner and very easy to sort of like crop out.
It was older. It was a little harder to do that back in the day. But
I mean,
and also the other problem too is that the guy that recorded this footage, he was the only person there. So there was no chance of plausible deniability that the footage existed somewhere else.
That's really funny.
That was tough.
Damn.
Yeah.
Could have done a reenactment. I always love when local news tries to do some horrible low budget reenactment of an event.
It's like, I'm just going to describe what I'm watching to you.
Yes. Yeah. So there you go. Well, Chief, I think that's going to do it for Patreon questions this go around. And
Boys, it was a great weekend.
Yeah.
We're still not done yet. Our flight doesn't leave for another couple hours, so we're going to go do a little more sightseeing, get outdoors for a little bit.
Yeah.
Always a great time spending time with you guys on the road.
Oh, Same.
So it's been a good trip. See everybody back in Cincinnati here shortly. Until then, you know what? I've done all the hosting duties for this. Kevin, do you want to get us out of here?
I do want to get us out of here. Fuck Columbus. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Cincy PostCast, which is a production of The Post Cincy. You can check us out at thepostcincy.com for all of our written content as well as links to our social media. You can follow us on Twitter, and as well you can join us on our Discord server. You can find links to that server both in this episode description as well as on our website. That is where most of our conversations are going on. We have a lovely community there talking about FC Cincinnati, MLS, anything and everything else and everything in between. We also want to give a huge thanks to Jim Trace and the Makers for providing all of the music you've heard throughout this episode. They're an amazing local Cincinnati band. Again, more information about them is in the description of this episode. And if you enjoyed what you listened to and you've made it to the end, so I'm going to assume you liked it, or you just can't reach your stop button, please like us, review us, subscribe to us wherever you are getting your podcasts. That is going to be really, really helpful. But more importantly, share this with a friend. A personal recommendation helps spread a podcast so much further. So please share this if you know somebody in your life who's an FC Cincinnati fan, an MLS fan, somebody that you think would enjoy this. Pass it on over. Thank you so much again for listening. It blows me away that people continue to listen to us, and thank you so much again.